Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Elias, and welcome to my first 24-hour reading vlog, where I will be attempting to read as many thriller books as I can. On this channel, I've done a couple book recommendations. I've done videos where I've recommended my favorite books, as well as thrillers with the best plot twists and everything like that. I will leave links to those down in the description box below so you guys can check that out. And the reason why I'm doing this today is because I feel like it's been a good long while since I've actually read a decent amount of thrillers. I feel like there was a particular phase where I just plowed through so many thrillers, and I felt like I read so many good ones that by the time I read other thrillers, like in present day, it didn't really match up or live up to the high standards I had for the thrillers that I read back in the day. With that being said though, I have a pretty good list here of thriller books I want to read. Some of my most anticipated books on this list actually, that I'll be attempting to read through for this 24-hour reading vlog. And when I say 24 hours, it's gonna be 24 hours. I'm literally going to attempt to read all of the books without any sleep, so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna quickly show you guys the thriller books that I will be attempting to read for this reading vlog. But before we get to that, a message from today's video sponsor by Future Elias. Cue. Hello there. I would like to kindly thank today's video sponsor, Karma. So Karma is essentially an app and a Chrome extension that ensures you never miss a price drop or a coupon code. Ever since I started using Karma, I've been saving those monies because, adding in all those books, especially all those clothes, and when you get the notifications that most of these items are 10 to even 30% off, you just gotta control yourself, Can't spend it all at once. But when it comes to discounts and saving monies, here for it. So Karma actually came through for one of the books in this video. I was able to save 10% on this bad boy right here. So downloading Karma is super quick and easy, and it's totally free. All you gotta do is click the link down in the description box below, add it to your Chrome extension, and voila. All you gotta do is when you're browsing on your favorite online store and you see something you like and you wanna save, just click on the Karma button, add it, and save it to one of your lists. You'll be notified if the item is on sale, if you have a coupon code, or even when it comes back in stock. You can also curate and create your own list with all your favorite saved items and categories. Here are some of the items that I have saved and put into lists so I can get notified via email or mobile if there's a sale or price drop. So once you're ready to buy something, Karma will literally scan the internet for coupon codes and will automatically apply that coupon at checkout. It's literally hassle-free. This is a special feature if you use Karma on your computer, so that Chrome extension, it's a must. Another cool aspect about Karma is that you can earn back Karma Cash when you shop at select retail partners. So if you guys are interested and you want to save a little bit of that monies and you want that good karma in your life while you're shopping, you can check out the link down in the description box below. It's completely free. Thank you to Karma for sponsoring today's video, and back to our regular broadcast. Alright, with that being said, I'm going to show you guys the books, but before that, I'm going to open two of the packages that I got in the mail. That is one way to open a box. Ooh, this is a thick boy. Alright, so the first book I guess I want to show you guys is The Book of Accidents. This one is by Chuck Wendig. I've heard of the author before. I hear he's like super prominent in sort of the horror aspect, a horror author, and I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this book in general. This one I believe is around 530 pages. So, not too sure if I'll get to this for this particular video. I won't be explaining what each book is about in the beginning of the video. I will basically summarize the plot when I get to it during the reading vlog, but definitely gonna read it sometime soon. Ow! I don't have a pair of scissors with me, so I'm just opening it with my bare hands. This one box, just for this one book. And this one is my top most anticipated thriller book of 2021. This is False Witness by Karen Slaughter. My thriller queen, Karen Slaughter, has finally written a standalone thriller. The last standalone thrillers that I read from her, Pretty Girls and The Good Daughter, chef's fucking kiss. They were exceptional, like brilliant. Truly one of the most masterful, crafted thrillers I've ever read in my entire damn life. Like, I kid you not. They're so gory, they're so thrilling, but the characterization of the characters and the story and the twists, it truly fucks you up in the best way possible. So, this is definitely one of the books I want to get through for the reading vlog. Alright, so we have a stack of them right over here. First up, That Weekend by Kara Thomas. Kara Thomas is a YA thriller author, and so far, I would probably say that she's the best thriller author for me because almost every single book that I read from her, I've liked. So I believe this is her fourth book now, I think. All of her thriller books, even though they're YA, I've enjoyed. Because when it comes to YA thrillers in general for me, they tend to lack a bit actually a lot in just substance in general with characters and believability, even though in thrillers you tend to suspend that belief, right? But most of them are either in a way relatable or grounding. And when it comes to YA thrillers, it's just none of the above, you know? I don't really vibe with. So pretty excited to get into this one. So the next 2 thriller books I'm actually in the middle of, and if I complete these 2 thrillers, I'm going to count them as one thriller book because I'm already halfway through them and I decided to why not include them in the video already as it is. And the first one up is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, and the second one is The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor. They both have very different feels, different aspects, and different plots, so we'll see. I'm sort of leaning towards The Burning Girls a little bit more than The Maidens. We'll see. I did not really like or enjoy the first book that the author has written, which was called The Silent Patient. In my opinion, the plot twist saved everything that the book had to offer for me, so we'll see. CJ Tudor, though, is a pretty strong author for me when it comes to UK thrillers. Also, when it comes to UK thrillers in general, they tend to be more or less of the same when it comes to their characters and their character development, but CJ Tudor is a UK author that I can definitely get by. Alright, so the next one I'm hoping to read for this reading vlog is Falling by TJ Newman. This is more of your action thriller, I guess, per se, because it involves like a plane being hijacked and everything. So we'll see. It's relatively short, so this looks promising. Alright, so the next one is also one of my most anticipated books of 2021, and this one is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Riley Sager, or Sager, to me, is one of the more prominent male thriller authors out there. All of the books that I've read from him, I've thoroughly enjoyed. I've given no less than like 4 stars. This sounds promising because it takes place in the 90s with a serial killer. Very excited to get through this with all the nostalgic feels. Alright, last and not least, I know this is a very ambitious, like, TBR for 24 hours, but we'll see, we'll see. Last one is The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This one is also a new release. This also came out within the same month of Survive the Night. This one to me is most exciting because it involves a trope of the final girls who have survived their horrible massacres and banding together when they find out that they're being targeted by another serial killer. So these are the thriller books that I'll be attempting to read in 24 hours. 1, 2, because I'm halfway through both of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 thriller books in 24 hours. Will I be able to do this? Time will definitely tell. We'll see. Alright, with that being said, I just got a notification from YouTube where someone commented saying that my voice is annoying. Why, thank you for your keen observation. We love to see it. So I'm going to show you guys the time. It is now currently 7:48 p.m. I'm hoping to read around 9 because I have yet to eat dinner. But when 9 o'clock hits, baby, we are just plowing straight through onto the night and throughout the day until the 24 hours is officially up. So pretty excited for this video. I'm excited to read these books because a lot of them sound really promising. And to this day, I think I have yet to give another 5-star to like a thriller book. So I'm hoping one of these 6/7 books will do that for me. I already know for a fact that I most likely will not be getting through this one because I was not expecting for this book to be over 500 pages, so this one will have to wait, and I guess I can just tell you the plot of this now. It's about this family, primarily focusing on their young son who has basically been targeted by the same evil that has affected parents' childhood lives in the past as well, when they move back to their hometown. They're essentially trying to band together as a family and fight this evil. Family love versus evil. Who in the end will win, I wonder? So I'm actually getting Imaginary Friend vibes from this book by Stephen Chbosky, another book that I extremely loved because I describe that book as if A Nightmare on Elm Street had a love child with Coraline, then that child would be Imaginary Friend. So getting the same vibes for this book, but will not be picking this book up for this particular video. Alright, so that is pretty much all I wanted to say. I wanted to film this portion of the video at the beginning before I ran out of natural light. Alright, okay, let the challenge commence. This fucking book. So, I just finished reading The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. Safe to say that this book might easily be one of the worst books I read so far this year. I sort of had some expectations going forward, but not too high, ever since I didn't even really like his previous book anyway. But, you know, the plot twist saved it for me, and I thought it was going to be in the same direction, the same route as the other book. This is one of the most dumbest books I've ever read in my entire life. the logic surrounding the main character, she doesn't even have any. Like, I can straight up tell you that I can immediately tell, even though the main character is a woman, that this book, whole entire book, is written by a man. The twist, so stupid. I cannot believe, like, I feel like when the character first appeared on page, I was like, yeah, that's the person, that's the twist. I was like, that's a stretch, there's no fucking way, and I brushed it off. Immediately, I was coming up with all these theories, these different guesses and everything as to what the case was or what the twist was in this book. I should have just trusted my gut and stayed with it, because I cannot believe how bad this book was. Like, everything, the characters, the red herrings, there are so many, like, obvious red herrings in here. It was not a good time. I am so thankful I read half of this on a plane, because I don't think I would have even picked it up in the first place if I didn't get an arc, first of all, and secondly, if I wasn't going on a trip where I had to read a book, you know? So far, so good. The first thriller that I'm reading, I finished, 1 star for me. It was just, this was not a good time. It was disappointing. So, I'm in a bad mood now, and so, not my cup of tea. Also, I just want to reiterate that for the entirety of this video, I will try to be careful with my phrasing and word choices when I describe a certain book or my thoughts and feels on it, just because I don't want to give away any type of spoilers. So this one follows a young psychotherapist who is, like, for certain, she is literally certain that the professor at her niece's university is killing a bunch of women. And so she makes it her mission and goes out upon herself to really prove that he is a serial killer. I mean, she thinks she's the main character. She thinks she knows it all and everything. So there she goes. And oh boy, she was in for a rude awakening. Let me tell you, I was in for a rude awakening. That is the basic premise and plots of this book. We're just gonna go ahead and get started into The Burning Girls by C.J. Tudor. Right now we are playing a game called Valorant. Jesse says hello, everybody. Jesse said I'm his baby boy. Jesse says he is daddy. I have this on camera. I'll be attempting to play Raze. If you're really close to them, you can shoot them, like, it does more damage if you're up close, but... Yes! No! I'm ass at this game, so please don't judge. Oh, fuck me. There's an op there, so let's not. Shit! I fucking suck! Shit! I died! We won! Nice! I got that on camera. Hello everyone, how's it going? So I literally have currently only read The Maidens, this fucking book, 1 star. And it is now currently 11:46 p.m. at night. Just got off playing a couple games of Valorant with Jesse, and we won both of our games, so yay for us. But now I'm just gonna finally buckle in and plow through The Burning Girls. Currently at this point in the book, we have this much to go. It takes place in the UK, and it's about a reverend's mother and her daughter who moved to this small town. And this town obviously has secrets with a tragic backstory and a past. These people, these girls, were murdered back in the early days when this village was being set up. And this whole legend, the myth, revolves around these girls in this village. So far, I really like it. I really like how spunky the relationship that the mother and daughter have. However, the only thing that has going for it so far that I don't like, so there are these bullies, of course, in the small town. And guess who the bullies belong to? They obviously belong to the richest family in the town. And guess what they call the daughter of the reverend? Obviously, she's just like edgy. She's the goth girl. She carries a camera around. She's the main character, right? The bully dubs her, and get this, these are 16-year-olds, 15, 16. This girl calls her Vampirina. I just had to fucking cringe at just how the antagonist, I guess, the bully, like, is. I guess that, you know, I don't condone any type of bullying, but the way that this bullying is bullying the main character in this book, it's just a big joke. It's just satire. No harm, no foul, nothing to it. Kids these days, they don't really call each other names like that. Vampirina? Are you serious? Just because she carries a camera, she has a cute bob, she, like, dresses in black clothes. Nobody gives a fucking shit, okay? Everyone's on TikTok or something, and just, they don't do that. I don't know, maybe I have more of a Western outlook to it. You can let me know down in the comments below if small villages in the UK have bullies like this that call other people, I don't know, an edgy dark name that you could probably find as a username for some person playing as a character in a game or something. But other than that stupid element, so far I'm liking it. So, back to reading it is. Okay, what time is it? It is now 2 a.m. in the morning. I have finally completed The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor. Not gonna lie, the twists here in this book, there are plentiful of them here. The essence of the twists, I feel like has no true relevance to the entire story as a whole, if that makes any sense. I feel like the twist for this one was just so far-fetched and left field, coming out of nowhere. I think honestly had to do with more of a shock factor than anything, but honestly there were so many things that didn't really make sense for me with that plot twist. I mean, I could see it. It's just too many plot holes for me to fully grasp and fully enjoy it, I guess. But ultimately, I'm giving this book, I was going to give this book a 2.5 stars because I thought it was good, but it wasn't that great. I thought it was okay. There was some slow tension building here, but I'm just going to bump it up to a 3. I did think that there were some parts in the book that were really strong when it came to building character and also the atmosphere. I thought the mystery surrounding the Burning Girls, their legend in this small village, and adding that as an extra layer on top of the other mystery that we're introduced to was really interesting, I think. It was like reading 2 different books at the same time. I think that for me, out of CJ Tudor's books, this is by far my least favorite from her. It's like your standard small town mill, I guess, sort of mystery thriller. 3 out of 5 stars for this one. Definitely a bump up from The Maidens, which was fucking terrible. Now I'm excited to start like a fresh new thriller. So for these 2 books, I'm not counting them as like each separate book. I'm gonna say I read 1 book because half and half. I think I'm gonna try to read the books in this order. We're gonna start off with the YA thriller, The Weekend. Then I'm gonna go ahead and start False Witness by Karen Slaughter. I don't know anything about this book other than the fact that it deals with 2 sisters and a tragic childhood past that ended up in brutal violence. So again, nothing but greatness for my queen Karen Slaughter. I'm so excited. I didn't even find out that she was writing a book until literally later in the year. And then I decided that I will go into Falling by TJ Newman. So this is relatively short, hoping to plow through this one. And then we have our last 2 sort of slashers. I'm not trying to read them from worst to best, you know, saving the best for last. So I think I'll go with Survive the Night first and then finally finish off with The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I feel like that is a really ambitious list. Who even knows if I'll end up getting through all of them. It is like 2 a.m. in the morning and not gonna lie, I am feeling a bit tired. I don't have coffee or anything, not that it does much for me. Alright, so with that being said, 1 down, 6 to go. Also forgot to tell you guys what this book is about. That Weekend by Kara Thomas is a YA thriller and it mostly follows 3 friends who go on a camping trip in the middle of the woods, and at the end of it, only one of them comes back. She's alive, but she's also very bloody, and she doesn't remember anything that transpired over the past 48 hours. So essentially, this is all about her trying to remember what exactly happened that weekend. I don't know how I feel about this, because out of all the books that Kara Thomas has written, I feel like plot-wise, this is the weakest to me, but who knows? I could be surprised, so. Hello everyone. It is now currently 5:19 a.m. in the morning, and I'm roughly halfway through that weekend. So far, this book to me is less thriller and more mystery than anything else. I feel like there aren't some thrilling aspects, yet we are with the main character with the memory loss trying to figure out what exactly transpired and happened. And so far, I haven't had any wild guesses as to what happened, but it's taking a different approach than what I expected, and in a way, it's kind of refreshing. Main character has already done something stupid, a couple of things already, but you know, I feel like that's warranted. I can't hate every book or every main character that does something stupid because, you know, we're all human, we make mistakes. Just sometimes you just get annoyed when main characters, especially in horror movies, they do something stupid and you yell at them through the screen. And I feel like I've passed the stage of being tired now, and I feel like it'll hit me all later. Probably around 9 or 10 a.m. and I'll probably fucking die, but for now, we are going strong, so. Hello everyone. Wow, okay. It is now 7:14 a.m. I have finished That Weekend by Kara Thomas. You guys, this was an utter fucking surprise. Like, all I'm gonna say is that this is probably one of the most, I guess, layered, complex YA thrillers I've ever read. Potentially be extremely underrated. This one was really interesting in terms of thrills and mystery. I feel like it's more of a mystery book than a thriller book. Perhaps the last 100 pages is where it gets towards that thrilling aspect with all of the twists and revelations. Halfway through the book, I actually predicted the big twist. However, there were some certain other twists that I did not see coming, and I was extremely shocked. That is a big, huge feat. So it was commendable. You know, hats off to this one. So That Weekend by Kara Thomas, not to be slept on. I think that if you are sort of new to the thriller genre, I feel like this would be a perfect place to start with. It has all the right ingredients. It's not heavy-handed, it's very subtle, but also it works, you know, and some of the twists in here, wow. I'm actually surprised and pretty pleased at everything and how this book turned out. This one has the highest rating yet. I'm going to give this one a strong 4 out of 5 stars. This one was good. So I would actually really recommend it if you guys are looking for a quiet, subtle thriller that really subverts your expectations. All right, so now that that's being said and done, we're now going to head into one of my most anticipated thrillers on this list, and you all know it's coming. Again, we have natural light outside now, and I know I haven't been showing clips of me reading because I feel like you don't really need to see me read every single book, you know? You guys, I'm no longer tired, and 7 a.m., I don't know if it'll hit me later, but it's about 2 sisters. I believe one of them is a lawyer, and she has to represent a client who recognizes this client from her childhood. And so she has to get the help of her sister, and these sisters, they're estranged, but they're connected from the past and ultimately in the present, and that's pretty much all I know. I'm getting pretty girl vibes from this book, as well as a slice of The Good Daughter, 2 of my most beloved thrillers of all time. With that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into this one. Hello everyone, it is 9 a.m. in the morning, and guess fucking what? I was reading in my bed, which was a fucking mistake because I just fucking woke up. Good morning! That was a mistake because I feel like I've lost valuable time. And this book, False Witness, is like 430 pages, which isn't a big deal, but it's a pretty big book. So I feel like it's gonna take me the longest to finish. I'm only 22 pages into it, and it's already 9 a.m. I don't know if I can do this without any sleep. I'm thinking of just going out of the apartment in general, maybe going to a local coffee shop where I can get myself up, energized, and reinvigorated again. All right, see you on the flip side. Hello everybody, how's it going? Same place, different time. It is now currently 11:50 a.m. I actually stayed for a pretty good decent amount of time at the coffee shop. Yeah, it was pretty expensive, not gonna lie. I think it might be my first and last time going there. It was literally $8 for a coffee, right? Managed to get only this far into the book. I feel like it's still a good portion because I got through a big chunk. So I'm gonna take a mini break, gonna get rejuvenated, have some lunch. All right, I will see you guys later. You guys, I am so fucking tired. It is now 1:05 p.m. So I just finished eating lunch, and I feel like my brain has just stopped processing things at this point. Like it's like at 50% capacity and steadily going down. I don't even know if I'll be able to finish this book, let alone the other 3 books that I plan on reading. Like I'm getting delirious at this point. I'm seeing things that aren't there. I don't know if I'll be able to continue this through without any sleep. I might take another power nap, like a 20-minute power nap. Maybe 2 hours or 4. A 4-hour nap sounds really nice. But you know what? No, I am fucking determined. Oh my god, that's so much. So much! It's okay, it's Karen Slaughter, and I'm immensely enjoying this book so far. I would say that it isn't as brutal or visceral as her other 2 books so far yet in the beginning. It is very violent already. The strongest trigger warning I can give from this is sexual assault, pedophilia, and genital mutilation. So there's actually a lot going on right now. Even though I did say that it isn't as intense or violent as her other books, it's still pretty fucking dark. A lot of her standalones revolve around family dynamics and the relationships between siblings, especially women. It's just a beautiful thing to read. And also the fact that these aren't like 20-year-olds, they aren't even 30. They're literally in their late 30s, early 40s, but women who have lived life, you know? You guys, I'm falling asleep in my chair. Stay strong. I can do this. I got this. I'm awake. I swear. Alright, let's get through this. Hello everyone. Update. 3:18 p.m. And I am more than halfway through with this book. I am proud of myself. I feel like I will finish this and just fucking pass out. I don't think I can make it for the 24-hour challenge because I feel like at this point there's nothing to life anymore at this point. So far so good. I will update you guys. I will update you guys later on my thought process and everything like that. So hopefully I get to finish this book before I fucking pass out. So peace. Hello, time for a quick update. It is now 5:45 p.m. I finally finished False Witness by Karen Slaughter. I have thoughts, and I don't even want to say anything right now. I don't even know how I feel about this book. I think I have to stop here and take a quick fucking nap. However long that nap will be. I probably will not be able to get through the next 3 books as I would have liked or hoped, but that's okay because we got through potentially 3 books. We got through half. Honestly, not that bad, right? Maybe I wish I would have started off reading the other books first, but I think I might just save those books for a later time, and you'll just have to wait to hear my thoughts on that in a recent reads video or a wrap up. So, oh my god, I can barely think, let alone speak right now. My mind is just, I feel like I'm on crack. So, I'm just so fucking out of it right now. So, I will see you guys when I'm rejuvenated and revived again. We can safely say that my sleep schedule is now utterly fucked. I tried starting a couple pages of Falling and my eyes kept closing, my brain is shutting down. I can barely speak. So we're just gonna end it off here, but I will definitely update you guys if anything changes, obviously. So good night, and I will talk to you guys later. Hello everyone, how's it going? Okay, so it is now currently 6:30 a.m. the next day. I literally just passed out on the bed all the way until now. I feel like I slept for more than 10 hours, honestly. Like I just passed the fuck out. The last time we spoke, I finished a Karen Slaughter book. And you guys, I have thoughts. Okay, originally after finishing it, I was like, it's a 3-star read, which isn't a bad rating per se because people are like, oh, 3 stars, it's not that good, is it? 3 stars is good. Sleeping upon it, thinking about it, the characters, the plot, the characterization, I'm gonna bump it up to a 4. Out of all of Karen Slaughter's books, this is probably the least thrillery. Don't get me wrong though, the last 100 pages or so, it was a knockout. There were a lot of things happening and, you know, you didn't know what character was going to do what and everything like that. I guess when it boils down to the familial ties, sisterhood dynamic and relationship of these characters, I feel like out of the books that she has written that I have read, that really comes really heavy-handed here in this one. It was honestly probably one of the most heartbreaking books in a thriller that I've read. Like I wanted to cry at some parts in this book, and I don't think I've ever read a thriller where I felt so much for these characters before. It actually made me feel like really deeply for these characters. So I would have to say big trigger warnings for sexual assaults, pedophilia, drug use, addiction, suicide. I think this book might be really tough for some people to get into. It's probably one of the saddest thrillers I've ever read. Not in terms of, I guess, trauma porn or anything like that, but it's just what these characters have to go through and how they deal with it and how they they deal with certain addictions or certain urges. It wasn't as thrillery as I would have expected it to be, and that's why originally I was going to give it 3 stars, but you know what? In the end, I think it deserves a really strong, good 4 stars. Again, look to and heed the trigger warnings, because this one out of the books that I've read contains the most. It's a shame, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to the other 3 books. I was really looking forward to reading it, but the challenge of this video was to read as many thriller books as I could in 24 hours. I mean, I did manage to read like half of the list, 3 or 4 books, depending on how you look at it. This is the list from best to worst, I guess. Alright, so first up is That Weekend by Kara Thomas. I was not expecting this book to take that home run, you know, take the cake, because it was truly unexpected. I think that this is probably, for me already, like a pretty unrated YA thriller as it is, because I feel like half this book read as your standard, you know, YA thriller, what you would really expect, and the second half just completely blew my expectations out of the water. It reads darker, it's way more mature, it's just a different tone and different vibe, I guess. So this one is probably the best one so far in this list. Alright, the next one up is False Witness by Karen Slaughter. Again, I just briefly talked about it. This one was also the most complex and layered thriller. I feel like her thrillers are very complex. They're very complicated and layered, and political even, but without it being too like heavy-handed or overt about the messages or the substances in this book. So, hats off to her. The next one is The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor. I enjoyed it. I did like several aspects of it, the atmosphere. However, I couldn't get over some of the twists or revelations that this book had to offer. I guess at the end of the day, this to me read like an average thriller compared to the rest of the books on this list. I do like CJ Tudor though. Her books are very creepy, you know, very atmospheric, and I'm excited to see what else she has to offer. But I think by far this is probably the weakest one for me. Last but not least, we have my least favorite one on here, and probably one of the worst books of the year contending. The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This book had literally everything I didn't really like reading in thrillers. This one had that narrator who's just so unreliable, but at the same time, she isn't an unreliable narrator, but she acts like one, you know? The things that she does, the things that she say, her actions just prove otherwise. They're so contradictory. It was not a good time. Everything about it was so stupid. There was just so many, I feel like, glaringly obvious mistakes and things that other people did. Why would you do that if this person did this? Wouldn't you connect, you know, A and B together? But I guess not, because common sense in this book, non-existent. Okay, and the twist? Fucking stupid. And also, I predicted it, like, literally in the beginning of the book. I don't think I'll be reading any other books from this author just because it's just not my cup of tea. And the twist from his previous book saved it for me. But the twist in here absolutely killed it for me. It was the opposite. And so, The Maidens. 0 stars if I could, but ultimately, 1 out of 5. That is pretty much it for this reading vlog. Please let me know down in the comments below if you guys have read any of these books or recent thrillers that you guys have read and loved or hated. I would like to know. Don't forget to check the link down in the description box below to download Karma. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all soon with a new video. So this is a special feature. Oh my fucking god! I cannot speak. With all of the twists and its with all of the twists and revelations. Okay, I could. So potentially halfway through the book. Women who have conventional events in their lives. Oh my! I can't even speak right now. Oh my god, what is happening? Oh my god.